Oh, the wire's in the way. Bonus content. Now then, this may be a semi-regular thing, depending on what I need, basically. But how many times have you seen a product, especially like a motorcycle product, advertised on a Facebook advert, or you've seen it on eBay, or you've seen it somewhere on TikTok, and then you've thought, I'll have a look for that, and you found it on the world famous Chinese site, you know, the one, sounds like T-Bay, for considerably less. Now I've just bought, funnily enough, this, and on a Facebook ad in Facebook, they're advertising it as, you know, a pressure bottle that you don't need a jet wash for, and it's for snow foam and all that lot. Well, I do use snow foam on the rare occasion I clean something, but they're selling it for £20 pretty much, and I thought, I'm going to have a look on TEMU. That was 84p, because TEMU is really, really good at, if you catch something early and it's on an offer, it will put it in your basket, and for about the next hour it will stay at a significantly reduced price. That is usually more than, what did I just say, 84p, but I got it for 84p because I threw it in the old basket, bought a couple more things, and ka-ching ka-ching. You have to get up to about 15 quid worth of stuff, but I buy shite. I buy trinkets and shit that amuses me, and then you've reached the shipping level then, and it can go. But that is exactly the same bottle that this other chump washing his Lamborghini is selling for 20 quid. And the only difference is he's had his logo branded on the bottle. Again, if you've ever worked with any Chinese companies, costs next to nothing to do that, providing they get the volume. Another thing I've bought, and another thing I've seen on some motorcycle adverts on Facebook and other places too, I've seen some quite major stockists stock these for a lot of money, and by a lot of money I'm talking about 15 odd quid. It is cast, it's billet, well I presume it's cast or it's machined, but it's metal. Hang on. But it's a stand protector. It increases the footprint of your stand, so if you go and you know, park on some loose ground or what have you, your side stand's got a way less chance of digging in. Comes with an Allen key and comes with a friction pad to slot in there. It's sturdy, it's pretty well made. I do believe I got it for £1.40. In fact, I've got two, one for the Z, one for the Aprilia. Might end up getting another one for last. And the other thing I bought, which I've been looking at, is motorcycle cruise controls. There's a couple of different types out there, but I even watched a YouTube video of one of these, this exact model, being fitted to a bike, and it was 150 quid. That's right, 150 quid. I didn't pay that. You will recognise it. It comes in two pieces. You've probably seen them if you've been looking at mid-sec cruise control. It goes in there, that clips around there, lovely. Basically it grips to your throttle tube, and then this tab here, when activated, which is that one, springs out a little bit, and there's a friction pad that you put on it, and basically it locks your throttle against the switch gear. 150 quid. I saw this advertised for, I think under the brand name of Atlas, something, sure it was something like that. but this is the exact same product. I have, trust me, I have piled over Google photos and instructionments and all that lot. This is exactly the same model, 14 quid, TEMU, because more than likely you're dealing straight with the factory, and some fucker somewhere is making 120 quid, 130 quid profit off of each one of these. Yeah, so 14 quid. My friend's just fitted one to his bike and it works great. The good thing about it is it can be disassembled. Basically what it is, this is a clamp system with it has a securing bolt, and there's a ratchet on the back. You click it down onto the throttle tube to where you want it, where you roughly think that you're going to be when you're cruising, and then these buttons activate it. And like I say, works on friction, so it can be overcome manually if required, or declicked with the button. So I just thought I'd show you those. I just thought they were interesting, that because motorcyclists are gadget freaks, a lot of us, or we like trinketry, and a lot of the time we're getting ripped off left, right and centre. Since motorcycling has become a leisure pursuit, stick the word motorcycle on the front of everything and you can stick a few tenors on it, can't you? So yeah, so that nice, well built, wasn't a lot of dosh. The cruise control, 150 quid. I was prepared to pay it when I'd got it, but yeah, 14 quid for exactly the same item. There's not even any branding or anything on the other one. So yeah, so it just shows you, shop around, do your research, save yourself a lot of money. Nice. On that note, shall I go? Yes, it's time to have beverage of the day.
A few moments later.
Midweek mashup. I've got a day off, which is nice. I've got the battery out of the Mercedes Benz, and it is as flat as a witch's breast. So this battery charger will sit at about a volt when it's not activated, because it is also a trickle charger. I've wired up the multimeter, and this battery was only 1.4 volts when I took it off a couple of hours ago, and it's got it up to 2.8. And the idea is I'm just going to leave it overnight like that, and once this has got this will gradually build it up, but as it is now, because it's so low, it won't go into charge mode. Yes, and now outside for some more news. I've just used a little trick. Obviously the battery charger has been plugged in and the battery is dead as a witch's breast, but I put my boost pack onto the battery, which then made the charger was plugged in like this, and then I put the booster on top. Didn't turn it on because that is punting out just over 12 volts even in that state, because if you were to touch those two cables together now, it makes your willy twitch. So basically that's fooled the charger into thinking there is 12 volts already in this battery, so it's now charging, whereas before it brought up a fault because there was so low voltage in the what's the word for it, Jim? It's called a battery. In the battery. So what I'm going to do now is rig up the multimeter and see what the multimeter is picking up. These are very delicato crocodilio clips. Now obviously what I'm going to be reading is the voltage on the charger. 13.3, 13.4. So that's what the charger is now trying to put into the battery, whereas before it wouldn't register the 12 volts. So that's one way to fool the charger. So yeah, so that can now be left overnight. It's actually it's reading as full, because it's now what the charger will pick up is the battery power off of this. Turn this off, take that off, But what I'm now going to do is to leave that there, because I can guarantee you the battery is not at 12 volts. Charlie news. Charlie is outside for the moment because I'm fanning around in the shed. Airplane. Ooh, looks like a Cessna Caravan. Anyway, the correct mirrors are now installed with the 40mm spacings instead of the gash that was in there. And today I ordered the screen for it in solid black. And then when that's there, we can put some fuel in it, get it run up, drop the oil and all that lot, and he's about done then. I've got to do a couple of little bodywork repairs. Let's go in the shed. See, I pre-opened the shed. The Aprilia. We have decided on a little design scheme for this. I really am loving that green, by the way. Oh, there's no light on. I've got some black and white Union Jacks, and stick one on either side. That'll do. I've ordered flatulence. I've ordered a rectifier for spurt, and it comes with a plug to wire in. And usually with stuff like that, I will not buy shite off eBay. I will, because you know, we've seen with the ZX10, you buy it 3 times, you get burned basically. I usually go for Electrics World and all this lot, but their rectifier, it's £100. I don't have £100, so I had a look on eBay. Yes, I know what I just said. But I found one from M&P. Now, M&P have been going for decades. You used to get a beautiful catalogue in the bike magazines, and I could literally sit there for hours with it, reading through the catalogue. But anyway, they did one, and I think, you might get it wrong, it was £45. But they've listed it, they carry it in stock, so it must be good enough. I've also got some random wire there with some heat shrink around it, and I've got no idea what that does, so I'm going to power probe it when I've got the battery back on. The battery, by the way, I have charged up and it's took the charge, so we can save the battery. What about Phyllis? Well, nothing to say about Phyllis, you know, rode to the calf, it was alright, but I think Phyllis might be a little winter partial rebuild project. I'd like to glue the fairing properly and what have you, but it's probably not going to happen. But I would like to take the forks off, strip the paint on the forks and repaint it and what have you. And that's pretty much it. It's now Wednesday and I haven't returned to work yet, because the vehicle I should be in has broken down. So it's just the case. But roof over my head, the bills are paid. I did get an email from the lottery this morning, which is always really nice to receive. It's like, oh, shall I open it now, or shall I wait a few hours and imagine being a millionaire? £3.40. So I'm up a quid. There you go. I'm doing some partial hello penis. I'm doing some partial tidying up. I've sorted bolts and fasteners out, and that's the little oil change pan I use for Phyllis. That is not the shite that came out, Phyllis. That is just shite. But that's the size of her oil filter. Yeah. It's probably actually nearly due for another one, because we have done quite some mileage on Phyllis actually, and it's something like they are pretty short oil changes. I think they're only something like 1,000 miles, and maybe not even that. I can't remember how many miles we've done on the Aprilia already. That's probably not been that many. Did I show on the other video? I've put the decals on. They were from I Say Ding Dong, and so are the Union Jacks I'm going to put on. But they look quite neat. They look part of it. How many miles have I done on the Z? Because this has got 2 trip meters. I actually reset one to show what it is. Let's move that out of the way. There we go. to show what I've done, which is that much. Does that say 375? I couldn't get my fat carcass over there to see. So I'm trying not to trip over a socket set at the moment. Yes, as usual, I'm a disorganised arse, but hopefully, after Charlie's gone, I'm going to have a little tidy up as well. I've got a load of old oil containers that need to go to the tip, loads of stuff there that needs to go to the tip. The idea is to put the bike lift back up against the wall, but it's very, very heavy, and you need like a clear shot at it, because if you fuck it up, I've had it fall on me before. It's not pleasant. So yes, so that'll pull the cord, Jim. Well done. So yes, that'll do. So the next jobs I've got to do is obviously screen on Charlie, and then I'm guessing the rectifier's going to be here at the weekend, and then I will have to wire in the new plug. Now the new plug is pre-wired. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. So we'll be chopping the old burnt plug there, that one that looks burnt, yes, and then soldering on the new one basically. But what we've got to make sure is that we get the yellows in order, that they are actually in order as they are there, because apparently that's important. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. Thanks as ever to Carl for being my Patreon. He's my only Patreon so far. So either he sees the genius of the channel for what it is, or is just a very lovely, generous person. We'll go with that. If any of you would like to join Patreon or anything like that, the links are always at the bottom of the videos. And every penny counts. Ooh, drink holder on the Aprilia.